$5, she takes him out.
Not if she sleeps with him first.
Wow, this should be rated X.
Is this a sparring match or a mating ritual?
Both.
I'm afraid I don't understand the dynamics of the male-female relationship.
And you probably never will, KITT.
Come on, he wants to learn. We should teach him.
See, the so-called sparring session is how they say, let's play a little how's your father without actually having to say it.
Why not simply ask for sex?
It's a reeks of desperation.
And he should know.
I did detect a rise in hormone levels when Michael and Sarah started hitting one another.
Now you're starting to get it. Not bad. Maybe if you put a little more oomph into it.
Like that?
Is this another example of an indirect request for intimacy?
She's straddling him. I'd say that's pretty direct.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Night, brought to you by the GCRN. I am one of your hosts, Steve, Joe, and Mike, and joining me is Dion the Music Man. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Today we're going to be going Beyond the Night and reviewing 3 more episodes of Knight Rider 2008, so get ready for attack mode as we take you beyond the night.
Oh, boy. Now that's shocking to awe, people.
You have everything on screen?
Everything as of 3 minutes ago. This is their last live stream.
I smell foreplay.
Freshly showered foreplay. What are we looking at?
Bonnie and Clyde.
You like these two, Mike. They hacked into the Treasury and transferred all senatorial and congressional salaries to Iraqi war widows using non-traceable wire transfers.
Not bad.
Oh, they're good. Real good.
They're anarchists. They're getting more brazen by the day.
They started with soft targets and are working their way up.
Their website states that their primary objective is to take down the military-industrial complex of the United States.
Of which we are part.
If their online following keeps growing at its present rate, they might actually be able to do it. These guys are becoming a pop phenomenon.
Top hit on all search engines.
What do they call themselves?
Nikki and Max for Free America.
You aren't serious.
Unfortunately, I am.
Wow, they're hot.
I think Sarah should come with me on this one.
Bet you do.
Yeah, I should go with Mike.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Dad, I think a female perspective will be a valuable asset on this one.
She's absolutely right.
KITT, have you figured out where they'll hit next?
I have factored in all known variables, including but not limited to online chatter, websites, blogs,
And
I have deducted the probable location of their next target, the town of Hastings.
a guessing kit?
Deduction, logic, and probability are not guessing. A guess is a prediction about the outcome made without factual evidence or support. I do not guess, Michael.
Chamber doors opening.
Occupant restraint system active.
First up today is I Want to Rock and Roll All Night. Mike and KITT are assigned on a mission to catch a criminal couple who have been blowing up buildings. The mission gets more complicated when the couple kidnaps Agent Revi and steals the classified personnel files of everyone at the SSC and threaten to upload them to the internet. Yay, the internet. Oh boy. The plot of this one, it's like a generic Team Knight Rider plot, but because the characters in this show are so better developed, I really enjoyed it more. I mean, this is your classic daughter wants to rebel against her daddy kind of thing. And it is a generic plot, but just because it's, these cast members, Bruning as Michael Knight and Deanna Russo as Sarah Grayman and all that, and it makes it so much better.
With this one, I think It's quite interesting because I kind of like the Kiss reference. It makes me laugh out loud when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, they used that. That's just so hilariously funny. And, now they obviously kidnap Agent Revi. Michael is sent on a mission to get these different parts, I think, if this is the one the same app we're talking about, for a bomb, I think it is, or no? Is this the same one?
The bomb is next week.
Okay, but this one.
This is the couple that keeps. They do have a bomb, but it's not the big bomb that we'll see later.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
They're just sabotaging all these government places. It's basically your anti-government type thing.
I like the episode. I mean, it's got action to it. I do like the action to it. And what is sad is that I think, was this the same? No, this wasn't the same one, because there's one episode, and I think maybe that's the one we'll talk about next week, where Carrie actually is forced to leave the SSC.
Yeah, that's day turns into night. That's next week.
Okay. This one here, it sort of reminds me, except for the blowing up buildings, it sort of kind of reminds me of Skynight in a sense, but not quite. Not quite.
No, I don't know where you get Skynight from, because that was a plane. But,
no, I know that, but they're all in the bunker. They're all in the bunker, and they have that doomsday device, and they, they're holding people hostage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Let's get to the scanners.
Take your time.
$20 says Nikki rolls over on Max.
No way. She loves him. Plus, he's way hot.
Hot. Are we watching the same movie? Double or nothing.
You're on.
My daughter's agreed to testify against Max. Provide the names of everyone in his organization.
Thank you.
And I'm sure the FBI will appreciate her cooperation.
I want to take off her cuffs.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, Daddy. I'm ready. Take me in.
I'll go with her.
Hello, Sarah.
Did you see the look on Nikki's face when Carrie put the cuffs on her? It's like her eyes almost popped out of her head.
Doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
I mean, limited intel tying our hands. Come on, we were set up for failure. Max gets away and she gets off. What's it all for?
We brought back the congressman's daughter. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, but Max is still out there. And I don't like leaving loose ends.
I think we did the best we could given our parameters. Look, we're not the first to get sidelined by politics, and we're not going to be the last.
Sarah, you're a scientist. What do you know about politics?
How do you think I got the funding for my research all these years? Look, what's done is done.
Game room, 8 ball. I'm up 5 games to 4.
Your memory's as bad as your aim. I'm up 5-4.
Please, I will beat you one-handed.
All right, we're going to turn the scanners on. That was one hell of a sparring match.
You wrote down the same note I did.
Yep.
Yep.
And let me say again how much more enjoyable Billy and Zoe are as secondary characters, more so than any of the TKR characters.
Let me also say that this kind of I agree with you, number one, but number two, it kind of gives more of a geekier side to Knight Rider in a sense. I know that obviously in the original we had Bonnie for seasons 1, 3, and 4, and then obviously we had April. I think what they were trying to do, instead of having Bonnie and Mike, or not Bonnie and Michael, but Michael and Sarah be a love interest, They were kind of doing a comical Billy and Zoe love interest. Billy thought Zoe was hot. Zoe's like, no, you're not my type, the kind of thing. Or, maybe even a brother and sister type deal. They're trying to basically outdo each other in smarts. Zoe may have a lot more brains in this area, or Billy may have more brains in this area, in a different area. So it's actually fun to watch, and it's fun to see everybody kind of get together and do this. And I kind of like the comical scenes in a lot of the episodes.
Yeah. This is also a very sex-heavy episode because they do play that Mike and Sarah they used to be a couple, they might be a couple again, they have all this history and everything else, and I mean, this whole first half of the episode was just them going, just consistently sparring in more ways than one.
Yep.
But I do love later in the episode how Mike gets rid of the cop almost better than faking deafness.
That was interesting.
Yeah. Well, okay, so, Nikki isn't playing everyone. I knew that was happening. As soon as she got brought into the SSC, I was like, yeah, she's gonna steal all the files.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a no-brainer.
And as I said again, I will repeat this because it does deserve repeating. While this is your standard daddy's little girl gone wild kind of plot, the actors in this series make it 10 times better than any generic TKR plot.
They don't make it boring.
No,
they don't make it boring. They don't make it boring, and it's not one episode. And I know we've said this before on many different episodes in the TKR franchise, in the original franchise. It's not one where you're going to just, if you own the DVD set, you're not going to be like, okay, let's skip to the next episode. Already I'm tired of this.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, for Skinner's Off, I only had one thing, and it was...
Was it the same thing I wrote down?
It might be. Why would they keep the identity of the girl a secret?
Yes, you wrote it down too. Yep.
How many times did, Michael Sr. go on missions that identities had to be kept secret, and he kept them secret? I mean, come on now. That's just ridiculous.
Are we talking about his identity or other people's identity?
No, hers. Torres kept Nikki's identity a secret from Mike and Sarah.
They would have found out eventually. They found out in the end.
They did find out
in the end.
They did find out eventually. But what I'm saying is, when Torres first gave them the mission, they said, "Here are these two. They're anarchists. Go get them."
Right.
And then later down the line, we find out that she's a senator's daughter or something or other, or whatever the hell. And you can't kill her. You can't do this. You can't do that. Well, why weren't they just told that in the beginning?
It's almost like they kind of have to piece together the mission. They give them the mission, but then when they get out in the field, they have to piece it together. I know that, and I'll make a reference here. In the original series, Michael went on these missions, and there were Night in Disgrace especially.
Yeah.
They had to... Michael and Devin had to keep that particular mission a top secret from everybody.
Right, but
KITT. But the difference was that eventually, Michael told KITT in the end, what was told to him and, that type of thing. But, fast forward, why would you only give them half the mission and expect the people out in the field to piece it together?
That's my point. There's a huge difference in Night in Disgrace where the mission had to be kept secret on the side of the people that are enacting the mission, but the fact that the superiors in this did not give the agents all the details.
Right.
How are they supposed to perform a successful mission if they don't have all the information?
Right.
I mean, it's like,
I mean, I was making that point, and I'm sure you were going to head towards that. I was just saying,
I mean, it's
there was a big difference.
You know, it's like Bill Cosby getting on the radio hollering, Tonto, don't go to town. I have some information for you. What's the information say? The information says, Tonto, don't go to town. The bandits are going to beat you up again. It's like, oh, God. All right, let's move on to the next episode unless you have anything else.
I don't, but I do want to say that I think that, for Scanners Off, the last note I do want to put in here is that I think they should have been given the full details of this mission instead of having them piece it together piece by piece.
Yep. All right, we're going to move on to the next one.
Michael, I can say with virtual certainty that the man coming toward you is the same man who broke into the regional FBI office.
What about the drive?
He appears to be carrying it. Michael, this man is armed and dangerous.
You saying I can't take him?
I'm merely saying I am available to assist you if necessary.
How hard is it to find a black Mustang?
Michael, are you sure you don't need any help?
See? I need your help.
You talking to me?
Shut up. I'll take the drive and your gun.
I believe the suspect is playing possum.
Okay, Uncle.
Black ice, Michael?
Sure, why not?
Activating black ice. I would be happy to eliminate the fence with my laser.
Okay, now you're just being annoying.
Up next is Night of the Zodiac. Mike goes undercover in Las Vegas to bust a money laundering operation. Billy joins the mission only to spark a romantic adventure of his own. Meanwhile, Dr. Grayman locks horns with a known rival and a former flame who comes to assess how quote-unquote green the SSC is. Oh boy, this was interesting.
This was a twisted plot.
Yeah, well, at first I thought they were going to go like... I thought it was going to be Knight Rider's hunt for the Zodiac Killer, like if the Zodiac Killer had come back. Zodiac Killer was a famous serial killer based in, I think, out of San Francisco.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at anything, so that I could be wrong, but I thought that's what it was going to be, and then it's tied into the astrology and everything else. This was a twisted plot.
But it was a good one, though.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was very good.
Yeah, very, very good. Absolutely loved it.
The funny thing about this one, though, it was 3 plots rolled into one, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They did it justice. They actually made the 3-plot thing work.
Yep. Yeah, it was really interesting how Grayman pulled off getting her to give the SSC a good report because I'm sorry. No kits that are red would ever be that green.
No.
Again, amazing acting all around. I still love Val Kilmer as the KITT 3000. He's as I'm watching the series again, he's really growing on me. Of course, nobody can really replace
William.
Nobody can replace William, but for the tone of this series, Kilmer really fits.
He does. I know we had said in the beginning that they did try to get Will to do it, but he had other commitments and things like that, so he couldn't really do it. But Val does fit the series for this. He has funny moments like Will does, in the original, and he had some serious moments like Will did. So they kept that, and I'm glad they kept that.
Yeah.
For the KITT, Night 3000. I'm glad they did because I think all the way around, if they had changed KITT's personality, whether it was the original or Knight Rider 2008, especially for 2008, if they had changed the personality from what we know it as now, I don't think it would have worked.
Yeah, no.
I honestly don't think it would have worked because you've got heart, humor, and action.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get to the scanners.
Top secret files. Crosscut, shredded, and burned. The FBI requires it. 20th century solution to a 21st century problem.
I've argued for an on-site enzyme-activated compost bin for all unrecycled paper. No CO2, no nitric oxide, no particulate emissions.
Just methane.
Which we could use to heat the entire floor.
Talk like an engineer.
PhD, mechanical.
Me too, MIT. Where'd you get your doctorate?
Stanford.
Really?
Yeah.
See, you met my daughter. Hello, Tess.
Hello, Charles.
We're entering a potentially hostile environment.
Don't you think you're overstating things just a bit?
Common difficulties are a precipitous drop in blood sugar, sleep deprivation, and encounters with dangerous and unpredictable locals.
We'll be careful, kid, I promise.
Vegas, baby. Vegas! All right, turning the scanners on. Vegas, baby, yeah! I'm really surprised since this is, even though this is created off of Glenn's characters, the creator for this was Gary Scott Thompson. The series he did right before this was Las Vegas with Josh Duhamel and, not Ed Asner, holy crap, James Caan and Vanessa Marcil and James Leisure, and actually the Montecito Casino and Resort from that series actually does appear in Prometheus in the pilot film.
Oh, really?
As that was the casino that they used, was the Montecito from Las Vegas. I'm really surprised when they went back to Vegas they didn't use it again. Are they really having a paper or plastic fight? Yes. Yes, they are. Oh my god. The ID technology, that was interesting. How KITT can do that. If only that was, doable in the real world.
Oh,
the switching of the IDs. That was awesome. I thought that was a well laid out plan, and that final line was amazing.
Whatever happens in Vegas stays in KITT.
Yep. So awesome. What'd you like or not like about this one?
Actually, there was, and I'm thinking if it was this episode where the bad guy was actually blinded by KITT's headlights? Was it this one?
Yeah, it's because he had the night vision goggles on. If you turn headlights on while you're wearing night vision goggles, you're going to get blinded.
Yeah, you're like, oh! It's like, oh, my eyes! I was like, oh, yes, that is just so awesome. And I liked the fighting scenes, obviously. I mean, you get good action scenes and whatnot. Billy almost got cornered a few times.
Yeah, he did.
He nearly got cornered a few times, but he was able to get out of it. He's kind of. I think he's kind of the. I'm not comparing him to RC, but he's like an RC character in a sense, meaning he was Michael's backup, kind of what RC was in the original to Michael Sr. So it kind of worked in this episode for Billy and Michael to do this one together.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it for Scanners On. I really didn't have anything for Scanners Off that I can think.
No, I didn't either.
I mean, I didn't write anything down.
Yeah, I didn't either. I really did like this. There wasn't really any plot problems or anything like that. So I think we are going to move on to the final episode of the day after this.
Initiating satellite surveillance co-op in 3, 2, 1. We have satellite surveillance.
Who's in the truck?
Just stop the bad guys. That's all we know. He seems nervous.
I can hear you, Billy.
35 seconds to intercept.
Ready?
Hydraulic systems operating within tolerable limits. Fuel cells at 92%. Shields and defensive weapon systems.
Times for long answers and times for a short one. Yes or no question, KITT?
The short answer is, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Attack mode.
Initiating transformation. Transformation complete.
Huh.
Not bad for a newbie.
10 seconds to intercept.
Whose side are you on, Mike?
Mr. Meyer in the ballet.
Your EMP's ready.
Sorry to interrupt. You're gonna want to see this.
On my way. On my way.
Come on, girlie.
Electromagnetic pulse fully charged.
Hold your fire, I'm taking over.
KITT switch to manual. Mike's driving now.
I'm not deaf, Billy.
Not your morning, is it?
Mike, your EMP will fry the big rig's electronics. We'll stop in under 10 seconds. FBI's 10 miles out. Just zap them and wait for backup.
EMP will jackknife him. Gotta get his speed under 80.
KITT, calculations?
Michael is right, Dr. Raymond. At this speed, the truck will jackknife.
Damn it, Mike!
Nope, can't look.
You're missing the whole thing, Sweet Cheeks.
Michael, I'm picking up some unusual readings from inside the truck, and the bikers are prepared to disembark.
Deploy the EMP.
FBI 60 seconds away.
KITT infrared.
Michael, something strange is happening inside that truck.
Do not approach the truck. Wait for backup.
Sorry, Carrie, I can't hear you. The EMP must have jammed my earwig.
Mike? Can you hear me? Do you copy?
Finally up today is Night Fever. Mike must stop the spread of a computer nanovirus that destroys electronics and threatens a global meltdown. The job gets more complicated when KITT is infected and suffers a series of malfunctions. Meanwhile, Mike's jealousy begins to show when Sarah, reconnects with a former boyfriend, guest star Jeffrey Pierce, one of the developers of the virus and the only one who knows how to stop it. Dun dun dun.
Jeffrey Pierce, that name sounds familiar. Very familiar.
Let's see. He was in Charmed as Todd Marks in 2004. He was, more recently, he's been in The Tomorrow People as Jack Jameson. He was in Nikita. He was in Alcatraz in 2012. He hasn't done a lot. He did the voice of Jason Bourne in the Bourne Conspiracy video game. He did the voice of Tommy in The Last of Us, another video game. But yeah, no.
Not too much acting.
Not really. The earliest thing he did was Simone is Kent.
Okay.
He was in Private Practice as Ray Daniels in 2008. So
he's gotten around, but not too much.
Yeah, not too much. I like the plot of this one. I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting that we're seeing a little bit more of Sarah's past. So that's always good. It's interesting to see how this is one of the weirdest viruses I've ever seen.
It is weird.
It's just
very
so
weird.
And the whole time in the entire plot that they talk about it, it says it interacts with metal and it ruins computer chips and this, that, and the other thing and everything else. So let me get this straight. When KITT's shields are up, I assume it's just when the entire car is, the doors are closed, the windows are up, everything. And this is one of my scanners off. This is actually my only scanners off moment. I'll go ahead and bring it up here, but there's a point where the virus gets on and around KITT, but there's a point
like
where
near the tires.
But there's a point where Mike opens the door. You would think opening the door would deactivate the shield, and
I didn't want to. I didn't. Yeah, it's like, okay, that's kind of odd.
Yeah. So, as far as the plot goes, I did enjoy it. I thought it was interesting. Like I said, we see more of Sarah's past, a little bit with Ryan Arrow. That was kind of cool. And the fact that Ryan wanted to do the right thing in the end, but sadly,
he died.
KITT malfunctions and kills him. That's never supposed to happen.
Nope.
What are your thoughts on the plot overall?
My thoughts on the plot were this was very good. We actually do get to see KITT malfunction, but not the way he's supposed to. Not like, I mean, he malfunctions, but they break away from any original malfunctions that have been done in the past.
Yeah.
That type of thing. And it's just really good to see that this all is just coming together.
Yeah, it is. It very much is. So let's get to the scanners.
I know what killed those men in the back of that truck. It's a virus.
What kind of virus does that?
A nanovirus.
Ew. What if Mike has it?
The virus only infects technology, not people.
Okay, that's not possible.
Not only is it possible, I think it's spreading.
Okay, if it doesn't infect people, why were the bikers in the truck all dead?
Because they were wearing chainmail. The virus spreads through metal. It has properties like acid. When it moves, it burned right through their bodies.
How do you know this?
There's rumors that the Pentagon has been developing a tech virus for years.
It's ours?
I think so.
We've got to tell Torres.
No. Torres already knows.
But he blamed it on KITT. It's not cool to blame KITT.
Haven't you noticed Torres getting more secretive lately?
I overheard him on the phone the other day.
You mean you eavesdropped?
Have to swear not to say anything to anybody.
Who am I gonna tell?
Swear.
Okay, I swear.
He was talking about Carr.
Carr? Psst. Come on. Carr doesn't even exist.
That's what they want us to believe. car lives.
All right, turning the scanners on. Car lives. This is the first kind of... I think we've heard rumblings about it throughout the entire series, but this is really the first time where someone actually says, the car project really is still going on, and damn, Sarah can kick some ass. I would not want to be on the wrong end of her.
I wouldn't either. I'd rather be on her good side if at all possible.
Yeah. Yep. Dang, the house went boom.
Yeah.
And then later in the episode, in the this very next scene, the virus gets loose. Everyone goes apeshit crazy, and Zoe roars at it. Did you see that?
Yes.
It's like wow.
Like, what are you doing?
She's so funny.
She can
so
be.
Awesome.
She
yeah,
can be.
So awesome. What did you like or not like about this one?
Well, for Scanners On, the whole episode was good, first of all. There were some great scenes between Sarah and Mike. That kind of sums it up for Scanners On. Scanners Off, how, I know you brought it up earlier, but I want to say it again. How is it that when you open the door, the shield, is still active?
Yeah.
That you'd think that virus would eat through there somehow or jump in the car with them.
Yeah.
And start eating through KITT's processors.
Yep. It's crazy. Going back and thinking about this with this whole virus thing, I was really hoping, really hoping we would have Val Kilmer do his own version of Evil KITT. From Killer KITT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have actually loved to have seen that, because that would have been really, really cool, because all they would have had to have done is just change his voice.
Yeah.
To or even with his voice as deep as it is, he really wouldn't have to do that. He really wouldn't have to do that much.
No, they could just put a slight reverb on his voice or something, and it wouldn't. But it would have been so cool if his voice had changed.
Yeah.
When the virus infected him. All right, that's gonna do it for us this episode. We're gonna take a short break. You're gonna hear some ads and some other audio and everything else, and we'll come back to close the show after this.
Hello, geeks. Want a podcast that covers a vast array of topics with no rhyme or reason? Then check out Altered Geek Unlimited, where the topics fly more or less off the cuff. We cover media news, TV, our favorite geek products, and of course, your feedback. So get altered, get geeky with the Altered Geeks every Friday on the Geekcast Radio Network.
Pixels in the Animation is the Geekcast Radio Network's video game cartoon review show. We are covering every episode of 9 different video game cartoons. Join TV's Mr. Neil and myself, TFG and Mike, as we trek through multiple Mario tunes, Zelda, Captain N, Mega Man, Sonic, and we are also driving through Donkey Kong Country. Pixels in the Animation is 100 episodes of video game cartoon goodness, so tune in to help us find the Pixels in the Animation, which you can find every Wednesday on iTunes and www.geekcastradio.com.
Hey everyone, this is the Music Man 08, one of the co-hosts of Beyond the Night with TFG1 Mike. Would you like to hear variety? Would you like to hear it out of the clear blue sky? If you've said yes to both these questions, then head on over to www.sky106.net, and why don't you check out the schedule to find out when your favorite DJs are on. You may also fill out an application, follow us on Twitter, send us feedback, and tune in with your media player of choice. You may also add us to Skype. That website again is www.sky106.net, where everything is out of the clear blue sky.
Alright, we are back, and before we close the show out, ratings for these episodes. I Want to Rock and Roll All Night. I'll give 2 KITT cars.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was interesting and enjoyable, but at the same time, it's the whole anarchy kind of plot where the two people are out against the government and everything else. Not that I see anything wrong with that at times, because certain times I think somebody should be against the government, but not the way that they did it.
Right.
The episode, and I mean, sure, there were a couple of good moments from Sarah and Mike with their whole chemistry and everything else, but other than that, the overall, just no. What about you?
2 KITT cars. I agree with what you said, basically. It is watchable, it is enjoyable, but it's not one of my highest episodes I would put on my top 10.
Yeah. Night of the Zodiac, I'm going to give it a 5. I really liked it, 5 KITT cars. I thought it was really interesting. Finally, Billy actually got out into the field and was able to do a very small mission, side mission with Mike. I thought it was interesting. What about you?
Give it a 5. 5 KITT cars. Same thing you've basically said. I mean, we're pretty much agreeing on this one, and then it's like I said when we talked about the episode. It's kind of like an RC sort of type thing. He's the backup. He's the backup. So this was nice to see. It really was nice to see Billy getting out into the field.
Yeah, it was very much so. Absolutely enjoyed that. So, all right. And Night Fever, what do you give that one?
Ooh, I have to give it a 5. Maybe 4.5, 5, something like that.
I'm gonna give it a 4 because I just can't get past the
maybe
the
the 4.5. I think I have to give it 4.5 because 4.5 KITT cars for this one.
Yep. All right. Thank you for joining us here on Beyond the Night. There are several ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com. Email us, feedback at geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter, at Beyond the Night is the show. Twitter, mine is TFG and Mike. You can also follow at geekcastradio for all the other network updates. What is your Twitter?
My Twitter is themusicman08.
Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/geekcastradio network. Call the voicemail line. Tell us a show you're leaving the message for and your name. 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Night and wish you'll join us next time where we'll be giving you the 3 more episodes, which are Don't Stop the Night, Day Turns Into Night, and the epic Night to King's Pawn. For now, I'm TFG and Mike with
Leon, the Music Man 08.
KITT, close the show.
So, tell us about the girl.
Who? Courtney?
Yes, Courtney.
Really not that much to tell.
Suffice to say, Billy played a few hands, downed a couple beers, and saved my butt when it needed saving. Mission accomplished.
We figured you'd say that.
KITT, play that video of Billy leaving the casino.
I'm afraid I cannot. They have been password protected.
See, ladies, what happens in Vegas stays in KITT.
Come on.